And Jose is saying, how do you personally distribute your investments? Meaning cash, gold, ETF, bonds, cryptos, care to share? Yeah. So I never, and I'll be teaching this in a lot more detail in the MBA degree program. When it comes to diversification, you never want to have more than a couple percent, whatever, of your non-house or non-apartment net worth in any particular investment. Okay, so I own a lot of stocks, but I don't own any stocks that are more than 5% of my liquid non-house, non-apartments net worth. And I don't have more than, say, 10% of my stock portfolio in any particular sector. So I'll have technology stocks, I'll have retail stocks, I'll have cyclical stocks, etc. Cyclical means stocks that are really tied to the economic cycle, like Caterpillar, ticker CAT, or Komatsu in Japan. And so that explains the stock side for me. In terms of bonds, I own a lot of bonds as well. And anytime I have extra cash left over, I'm like, what do I do with it? Which I don't usually, but sometimes I do. What I do is I buy TIPS. TIPS stands for Treasury Inflation Protected Securities. And basically what that is it's a US government bond or treasury you can buy that it has this interest rate, whatever it is, plus whatever inflation is, the bond will go up in price. It'll appreciate. So you're inflation protected, hence the name Treasury Inflation Protected Securities. And that's the lowest risk asset I think you can get. The lowest risk asset is buying a US government bond. It is what it is. I don't make the rules, but that's what everyone knows out there. And the US dollar is always a flight to quality when the whole world is going to hell in a handbasket. It is what it is. It's all relative. Now, I don't have that much money in cash usually, ever, because I think it's the worst investment you can make. I always like to buy investments. I own a bunch of land as well. Recently bought an apartment building in London, Ontario, where I was born, right by the University of Western. Only because it's counter-cyclical to own real estate that students are going to rent because people still go to school during recessions. The best investment you'll ever make, though, is your own house or apartment. I think you mentioned you live in Brooklyn, right? I know that real estate's expensive there. But if you own your own place, then your net worth will literally, it's going to sound out there, literally be $30 million higher in 50 years. And if you want proof on that and how the time value of money works, just go to my YouTube channel and do a search for the number 30 or 31, because I wrote you'll be $31 million richer if you do this. So check that out. So, and my grandfather used to always tell me, God bless him, he used to say, Chrissy, buy land. They're not making it anymore. And so I like to buy stuff that there's a dearth of supply. And you always got to be cognizant of supply of anything you buy. You know, a lot of cryptocurrency investments are loser investments, because there's an unlimited supply of cryptos that can be made for certain cryptocurrencies, unlike Bitcoin, where there will only be 21 million Bitcoins ever made by the year 2140. So there's a dearth of supply. And yes, I do own a couple of cryptos. I'll tell you what I own. And I've owned these for years and I'll never sell them. I'm not telling you that to buy or sell these or whatever, but here I go. I own Bitcoin. I own LITECOIN. Which is kind of like Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's little brother. So Bitcoin is digital gold. This is digital silver. This is used more for transactions. I also own some Ripple, and the founder of Ripple lives not too far away from me here. It's a financial services-based crypto. It can't fail because all the financial services firms are going to support it. I won't go there. And I own Ether, ETH, which is the cryptocurrency for the Ethereum platform. And I'll talk more about this in the MBA degree program. I know you're registered for it. We'll go into a lot more detail there. Aside from that, I mentioned land. I own commodities as well. I think everybody should own some gold in their portfolio, but wait until it sells off big time. You want to be a contrarian and very, very long-term focused. Always, always, always.